Engineering. We trust and pray that all is good with you and your family during this difficult time as a global COVID pandemic is still peaking around many countries. So with tremendous happiness and gratitude, I take this opportunity to welcome you all to the 3 days national level workshop on importance of NAAC accreditation in higher education institution. Firstly, I would like to brief about ATME College of Engineering, Mysuru. So ATME College of Engineering is founded by a group of like-minded technocrats in 2010. Founders are managing various kind of enterprises like infra companies, manufacturing units and IT services. Spread over 25 acres of green expanse on Bannur-Mysuru Road, Mysuru, ATME College of Engineering has created an ecosystem of teaching, making it a universally accepted place for education. And ATME prides itself in putting the students first. The institution has been set up with an objective of preparing thoroughbred professionals for the global society of tomorrow, and it presents best-in-class features and facilities to achieve such an objective. Among the other highlights of the institute are it focuses on cultural values, community services, and linkages with leading institutions. With its sensitivity to the fast-changing needs of the ongoing knowledge age, the institution envisions its evolution soon into a center of excellence in technical education, contributing to the future society. The people behind the institute, being technocrats, academicians, and administrators, are policymakers and protectors, make sure that ATMEans have a distinct edge over others when they step into the industry. ATME has been fostering industry-institute interaction on the regular basis. ATMEC has entered into MOUs with many industries for internships, placements, skill enhancement, research and development, etc. Reputed companies like Cisco, Texas Instruments, Frenus Technologies have been set up their labs and training centers in the college campus. Research is one more area where ATME is doing extremely good. ATMEC has 6 research centers with about 16 PhD qualified faculty members, about 43 research scholars carrying out research work in the college. Lots of publications and consultancy projects are also being undertaken by the faculty members. So now I request Dr. Govindegowda MS, Dean Academics, to welcome the guests and participants. Over to you, sir. ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೆಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ವಿಡಿಯೋ
NMA MIT NITE, and also greetings as well as welcome to our internal resource persons. They are very much have a full of knowledge in accreditation process, be it NBA, be it NAAC, etc. I want to take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Mahesh PK, HOD ENC, as well as IQAC, the coordinator ATME, and also Dr. L. Yatish, Professor ENC Department, and also IQAC member ATME, and myself. And also I extend a warm welcome to our principal, Dr. L. Basuraj, who taken all this initiation, and whenever we propose this kind of activities, he wholeheartedly agreed and he will always motivate and support in all aspects. So therefore, I extend a warm welcome to our beloved Principal Dr. L. Basuraj to this 3 days FDP program. As also, he is presiding over the function. And also extend a warm welcome to our Dean Student Affairs, Dr. Ratnakar, Dr. Bhagyashree, Dean Research and Development, and all the HODs of the various departments, all the IQAC members, all the departmental IQAC coordinators, all the internal faculty members. There will always be a significant response from the outsider for participating in this 3 days FDP program from 9th to 11th. So we should not forget their participation as well as enthusiasm in taking part in this FDP program or to make it more successful. So on behalf of myself, principal, all the staff and the management, I extend a beloved as well as a warm welcome to the participants from the other institutions who wholeheartedly participating voluntarily. I also extend a warm welcome to all the viewers, all the stakeholders, since this inaugural function as well as our all FDP sessions going to be live on YouTube. So therefore, I extend all to all viewers a warm welcome, and these 3 days program, be it very useful, very informative, and very meaningful experience to all of you, so that you can implement all these ideas, experiences, whatever you will get from the expertise in your institutions, so as to provide a quality education in your institutions also. So I take this opportunity to thank my management as well as the principal for giving me an opportunity to arrange this program as well as to address a welcome speech, welcoming to all of you. Thank you one and all. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir, for the address. With immense pleasure and gratitude, I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Govinda Gowda MS, Dean Academics, to the 3 days national level workshop. Welcome you, sir. Now I request our beloved principal, Dr. L. Basavaraj, to render the presidential address.
Good morning. Good morning. Am I audible, madam?
Yes, good morning, sir. You're audible, sir.
Okay. Pleasant good morning to all of you. Respected participants, respected deans, friends, and my dear colleagues. I'm glad to inform you that we have organized 3 days national level FDP on importance of NAAC accreditation in higher education institutions, which is aimed to ensuring quality in higher education. At the outset, let me thank all the speakers who have accepted our invitation to be a part of this FDP and to share their expertise with all the participants. Today, though we have improved our gross enrollment ratio through a horizontal expansion of institutions, our efforts to ensure quality that matches growth are still halfway through. More importantly, the yardsticks of quality in education are being revisited in terms of innovation and the contribution to the knowledge-based economy. It is gratifying to note that mandatory accreditation has become a common goal for higher education institutes. We are thankful to the University Grant Commission and the Minister of Human Resource and Government of India for their effort. In this regard, National Assessment and Accreditation Council deserves special applause. Ever since its inception in 1994, as an autonomous institution under University Grant Commission, NAAC has ensured accreditation of around 375 out of 800 odd universities and around 8,000 out of 45,000 colleges. We have also been witnessing the changes in accreditation with the entry of National Board of Accreditation (NBA) to assess technical institutions. While NAAC assesses the entire institution, the NBA focuses on each program. I am glad to know that NAAC is now using tools based on information and communication technology, that is ICT, to avoid any possible bias in judgment. With such an effective system in place, it is left to the colleges to enhance their credibility by securing due recognition in terms of quality. But securing accreditation is not a duty of the management alone. In fact, entire academic and local communities must sensitize it to be a need. Colleges and universities must make the best use of such progress so that our campuses lead students from classroom to workstation where they build India's future. The need for improvement in quality should be triggered by willingness to understand and accept our deficiencies, which the assessment agencies points out. We all we also must learn from the reports about the questionable employability of our graduates and the limited representation of our students in national and globally praised institutions. The principals of the respective institution have to convince the teachers on the need to use the right technology and to go beyond conventional methods. In return, our university and collegiate system must respect the academic autonomy and integrity of the teachers. Results will automatically follow. I would like to remind all the participants to make sure that their campuses become models to society. I hope all these are included among the yardstick of assessment. I wish this FDP all success and would certainly look forward to see the outcomes. I once again greet all the teachers, principals who have assembled here. I also compliment the organizers for conducting this function in a befitting manner. I would like to thank our Honorable Chairman Sri L. Arun Kumar for his unconditional support and guidelines in organizing this FTP. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Since we have come to the end of the inaugural program, I request Mr. Kiran B., Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, to render the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, all. ATME College of Engineering has emerged as a prominent institute offering quality engineering education. It is a great initiative by ATMECE in association with IQAC cell to organize 3 days national level online faculty development program on importance of NAAC accreditation in higher education institutions. I, Kiran B., Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, take this opportunity to render a vote of thanks. I would like to thank Dr. Vivek Kapoor, Director G.H. Raisani, Institute of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur, Dr. Mangala Keshav, IQAC Director, BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore, Dr. Nagesh Prabhu, Professor and Head, Tribali Department, NMAIT, Nitte, Dr. Govinde Gowda MS, Dean Academics, ATME College of Engineering, Mysuru, Dr. Mahesh PK, Professor and Head, ECE Department, IQAC Coordinator, ATME College of Engineering, Mysore. Dr. Ethiel, Associate Professor, ECE Department, ATME College of Engineering, Mysore, for accepting our invitation to be the speaker for the 3 days national level online faculty development program. Thank you all. I thank management of ATMECE for constantly encouraging us and supporting these type of events. Thank you. I thank our beloved Principal Dr. L. Basvaraj for his valuable guidance in organizing this 3 day FDP. Thank you, sir. I thank Dean Academics Dr. Govinde Gowda MS, whose efforts have paved way for organizing this 3 days FDP. Thank you, sir. I thank Dean Research Dr. S.R. Bhagyashree and Dean Student Affairs Dr. Ratnakar Ji for their support. I extend my gratitude to the heads of the various departments, teaching and non-teaching staffs of various departments for extending their sincere support. I thank the organizing committee for providing faculties with an opportunity to explore the importance of NAAC accreditation in higher education institutions. I thank all the faculties across the country who has joined us. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. FDP Day 1, Session 1 will be starting in few minutes. So, starting with Day 1, Session 1, I request Mr. Girish M., Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, to introduce our today's resource person, Dr. Vivek Kapoor. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Dr. Vivek R. Kapoor has completed PhD degree in electronics, a professor and dedicated academician with 26 years of experience of cross-functional experience in the areas of strategic planning, project management, quality assurance, and quality enhancement of technical institution. Outcome-based education and its signal processing is the area of his interest. Appointed as a Margadarshak Evaluator by AICTE New Delhi, and he has appointed as NAAC Evaluator by National Assessment and Accreditation Council Bangalore, and visited 10 plus institutes for the accreditation process. And also appointed as NBA Evaluator by National Board of Accreditation, New Delhi, and visited 60 plus institutes for the accreditation process. Part of the delegations to the top universities in USA, UK, Singapore, Malaysia, and Dubai. He is an active participant or contributor in NBA initiatives related to quality assurance and quality enhancement across the country. His core competence includes strategic planning, accreditation process and preparedness, outcome-based education, defining the vision and mission, defining PEOs, PO and COs and its mapping, process of attainment of CO, PO and PEO, internal academic audits, inculcating the research culture at the institute level, implementation of policies or the best practices for the growth, ICT-driven interactive teaching and learning processes, innovation and creativity, leadership, and is also contribute to the research development activities at the institute level. Thank you, sir. So we are happy to have you as a today's speaker, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for giving the brief introduction for me. Chairman of... Yes, sir.
Welcome. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Chairman Atul Kumar ji and Principal Basavraj sir, Organizing Chair Govinda Govde sir, then my close friend Dr. Mahesh, Professor and Head ECE Department. First of all, I would like to congratulate entire team for organizing this 3 days national level online FDP on importance of NAAC accreditation in HEI, that is higher educational institutions, which is a need of today's, because for growth and development of department of the institute actually depends upon when one implements the outcome-based education in true sense. And in view of that, the topic assigned to me is attainment of course outcome and program outcomes. But before that, I would like to share in my presentation what the OBE is, what the accreditation is, importance this process OBE is, and then actually calculation of COPO attainment. So just a moment, I will share my screen. Sir, are you able to see presentation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah, thank you very much. So just I'm going to deliver my presentation on Introduction to Outcome-Based Education and CO and PO defining mapping and its attainment. So starting with what the accreditation is. Maybe done by National Board of Accreditation or by NAAC. The basic difference between these two agency is NAAC is applicable for non-AICT approved institutions and for NBA it is for AICT institutions. I think someone is unmute his mic. Okay. So the accreditation is nothing but it's a formal recognition of the quality of any institution, any educational programs, departments by an external independent agency, maybe NAAC, maybe NBA, on the basis of impartial assessment on the various basis of various well-defined criteria. Now, NBA has their own set of assessment criteria, NAAC has their own, but many things are nowadays common. And if everything goes well, I think from the next year itself, NAAC is also going to have a program-wise accreditation similar to what the NBA is doing. So from the last year or 1.5 year back, they have also implemented the COPO mapping and attainment parts in their SSR. Now, what is OBE? So basically, the outcome-based education is having an educational theory that bases each part of an educational system around goals. Now, these goals are nothing but the outcomes, and by the end of the educational experience, it is expected that each and every student should have achieved these goals or these outcomes. Starting with a clear picture of what is important for the students to be able to do, and then to achieve that, to achieve our aim, our vision, organizing the curriculum part, then its mode of delivery, and then continuous assessment. So these are the three very important basic characteristic I can say of OBE. To achieve OBE, there must be well defined curriculum, well defined mode of delivery, and the very transparent, well defined assessment process to make sure that learning happens. So these are the four basic components I can say of any outcome based education system. So for OBE education, first thing
Sir, PPT is not being shared, sir. Hello?
Yes, sir.
PPT is not being shared, sir.
It is visible, sir. It is shared. Visible.
Is it visible, sir?
No, it's shared.
So now it is visible, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Our system, it is not visible.
Sir, for that you just exit from that meeting and then again log in, I think.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, for outcome-based education, first we have to decide what the student should be able to do with respect to the latest trends, technology, scenario of industry, employability, considering all the aspects. Then, to achieve that, one should define or prepare his curriculum based on what the student should be able to achieve during his 4 years or 3 years journey of education. So how to make the students achieve the outcome? Our curriculum must be designed, and then this outcome-based learning and teaching. Now, normally we used to say teaching and learning. The purpose of writing this as learning and teaching is because first faculty has to study what is the outcome-based education learning. So every faculty has to prepare themselves for to achieve the goal decided for our outcome-based education, and then parallelly the assessment part, outcome-based assessment. So how to measure what the student has achieved at the end of the course. Now, when I am talking about outcome-based education structure, so it starts from top to bottom. that is development stage, I can say. So first, any institute has to define vision and mission where they want to be after a few years of time, and to achieve that vision, they must define their course of action to achieve that vision, which is nothing but your mission statement. Now, in aligned to vision and mission statement, it is expected that every institute, every program, they must have their program educational objectives, which is expected 3 to 5 in numbers. And now, to in align to your vision mission, you have defined your program educational objectives, and then in line to this PO, you must have your program outcomes. If I'm talking about NBA, they have defined their 12 set of program outcomes, and for NAAC, there is no standard defining POs they have provided. So any institution, they can refer these program outcomes given by the NBA. Most are applicable to each and every institution with a slight modification if they require. And to achieve these program outcomes, you require a number of courses aligned to, again, your PO statements. So these are the development stages, like first vision mission, then PEOs, then program outcomes, then your course outcome. Now, if I go from bottom to top, it is your attainment stage. So first course outcome attainment, then program outcome attainment, and then your PO and vision mission statements achievement. So all are interlinked. Any one link, if it's on the lower side, entire your vision mission statement is not able to then achieve. So all should be very much mapped with consistency and everything. Now coming to vision mission statements, this is I have added for those institutions who are now at the stage of implementing this OBE. So just in a one or two slide, I will just want to share that vision is a futuristic statement that the institution or the department would like to achieve over a long period of time. And then the mission statements is nothing but the means to achieve our vision, that is your course of action. For example, vision may be create high quality engineering professional. So to achieve this, you may have your mission like offer a well balanced program of instruction, practical experience, and opportunity for overall personality and the development. So this is just an example. The purpose of mentioning this in this presentation is your vision should be practically approached, because it should be achievable also. Normally we have seen during our visit, to make more attractive, they use words like world class education, world class infrastructure. So on the other side, we have to see whether we are practically able to see that world class infrastructure facility in our institute or world class facility in our institute. So depending upon your geographical location, your surrounding, vision mission statement should be drafted or framed. Then coming to program educational objectives. Program educational objectives are nothing but the broad statements that describe the career and the professional accomplishment that the program is preparing the graduate to achieve. So what their graduate is expected to achieve is nothing but your program educational objectives, and guidelines for defining the program educational objectives. It should be consistent with your mission of the institution. The number of POs should be manageable, as I said earlier, that it should be between 3 to 5 number at the max. The more number of POs you are having, it's difficult to achieve those also. So it should be manageable. Then PO should be achievable by the program. So while defining the PO statement, on the other side you have to see whether they are achievable by the program or not. Then PEO should be specific to the program and not too broad. So all program educational objectives should be with respect to program specific only. Now, typically under the following 5 broad categories, it is expected that PEO should be defined. First one is, you may say as a first PO, which reflects the preparation in terms of employment or in terms of higher studies for your students. So it may be preparation. Then second one reflects the core competency. Now, students after graduating from that particular program, what discipline knowledge he is having with him, related to its program or branch or specialization. So, so second PO must reflect the core competency levels in their students. Third one is breadth. I can say it as a T-shaped engineer, where the horizontal line reflects the breadth of the knowledge student is having, and the vertical line represent the depth of the knowledge student is having. So taking care of your that breadth of the knowledge and technical aspects, technical knowledge, depth. Third PO may be on breadth. Then fourth one is with respect to the professionalism, normally three P's, professional value, professional knowledge, and the professional development. So it is expected that all these quality every student must have. And the last PO is lifelong learning, talking about the environment. So it is expected that at the end of the course, this five broad category of PO student must have with them. Now, these are the 12 set of POs defined by the NBA, which I have said earlier. So, non-AICT approved institution, they may refer these PO for their institute, which is applicable to them, or they can have a slight modification in PO wherever they feel or required. So, it's engineering knowledge, problem analysis, design and development of the solution, conduct investigation, then modern tool uses, the engineer and the society, environment and sustainability, ethics. Then last four POs, individual and teamwork, communication, project management and finance, and last one is lifelong learning. So you can see most of the POs are common for any of the courses we are running, whether it is AICT approved institutions or non-AICT approved institutions, and these are acceptable by NAAC also. So with slight modification as per their requirement, they can set this 12 PO or 5 PO, 8 PO as per their requirement. Only the thing they have to ensure that their entire curriculum is well covered or mapped with those set of identified POs. So it is expected that a student must have a set of minimum skills. All these 12 set of POs I have mentioned here. So a set of minimum skill from 1 to point number 12 at the time of graduation. Now coming to our today's topic, course outcome, program outcomes, their mapping, and then finally their attainment parts. So while defining the course outcome, now this part is to be done by individual faculty for their own subject. Or every faculty has to do defining of course outcome. In some cases, if we are affiliated institutes, so in India, some universities, they are providing the course outcome for their subjects. But even then, if they feel, individual faculty feel that they want to modify, they want to add, they want to change some statements of CO for their subject, they can. It's free. University has given just their own course outcome. You can modify, change as per your requirement of your curriculum. But only the thing you have to ensure, the set of COs must contribute to the max for the achievement of program outcomes and hence vision mission statements. So starting with the course outcome characteristics, course outcome or not, whether they are measurable or not. So you have to make sure these two things. Then every course has a set of COs. Now, any subject can have 4 to 6 number of course outcome. Ideally, it should be 4 to 6 course outcome. Every course, here course means subject. So every subject has a subset of course outcomes, maybe number from 4 to 6. And course may have 4 to 6 course outcomes, and those set of COs must very closely related to the assessments that have a realistic chance of being accomplished within a semester. So again, you have to define in course 4 to 6 course outcomes for your subject in such a way that they must very closely related to the assessment tools which you are having at your place, or the assessment tools which you can add for their attainment. But you have to make sure that within a semester all COs must accomplished or attained. We will see later on the various type of tools, methods we can have for attainment of CO as well as for PO also. Then at the are measured at the end of the course. So at the end of every semester, individual faculty has to do the calculations of course outcome attainment. It is individual faculty responsibility to define course outcome, and then its assessment tools. They have to decide what the assessment tools they are going to use for attainment of course outcomes, and then finally they have to do the calculation part at the end of semester once the course is over and all the examination has been done. Focus on course outcome that have to prepare the students for what is important to the discipline of which the course is a part. So again, while defining this aspect also faculty has to take care that what is important to the discipline of which the subject is a part. Looking toward this, they have to define the course outcome. Then last one is every course outcome address one or more program outcomes. So for every subject, or it is there should be minimum set of program outcomes. So you have a 4 to 6 number of course outcome for one particular subject, and then every course outcome must be related to few set of program outcomes. That again we'll see in the next few slides when we talk about the program outcomes. And then teaching students new modes of thinking to have an impact on their future. And the last one is very important part, Bloom's taxonomy. So it is now mandatory, I can say, or compulsory for every faculty member. While defining the course outcome, every faculty has to incorporate the Bloom's taxonomy in the statements of various course outcome they have defined. Now, Bloom's taxonomy, normally it has a 6 different set of Bloom's level. I can say nowadays it's a 7 level, 8 level also in the scenario, but you can start with these 6 levels of Bloom's taxonomy, which talks about the remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate and create. So these are the 6 different levels of Bloom's taxonomy which you have to adopt while defining the course outcomes. Now, they have provided Bloom's taxonomy, they have provided a set of their keywords of Bloom's taxonomy along with the verbs under each keyword. Now you can see here for remembering part, they have mentioned a few set of verbs. So in the same way for every keyword, understanding, apply, analyze, evaluating, creating, they have clearly mentioned a set of verbs. Now you can select any of the verbs for defining your course outcome. For example, since I belong to electronics department, let us write the course outcome for Fourier transform. Suppose I wish to define course outcome for my subject Fourier transform using Bloom's taxonomy. So what we will do, first I will pick up the label remember. Now you have to see for which topic, for which content you are defining your course outcome, and if there is any remembering reflection in with respect to that topic or content. So first, for example, I have selected the remember part of Bloom's taxonomy. So I will define the course outcome for remember part for my subject, like at the end of the course, the student will be able to define the importance of Fourier transform. Now, previous slide we have seen that under remember column, they have mentioned various set of verbs, and in that verbs, define is the one of the parameter. So I have selected define one. So it's up to individual faculty which he or she see the best suitable word for their statement. So I have, for example, I have selected define. Anyone can select any other word also. But you have to use the Bloom's taxonomy in each and every course outcome statements. So students will be able to define the importance of Fourier transform. Now this is, I have defined the CO1 for my subject, for example. Now at the same time, I have to see its assessment part. Like what type of question I can ask so that student solve this question, and it's for me it's easy to have a attainment kind of thing for this CO also. So I may ask the question like state defined Fourier transform in my exam, list the application of Fourier transform. So likewise, like giving the thought process in the same way, every faculty has to decide or define his course outcome and what can be the accessible part, whether though that statement is accessible or not, whether students can solve that thing or not, to make ensure that course outcome must attained by the each and every students. Now another example if I can take, second, for example, apply. So I want to write the statement for apply Bloom's taxonomy keyword. So I can start with at the end of the course, the student will be able to obtain the Fourier transform of a given signal. Again, I have selected one verb from obtain from the apply keyword list. So this can be another example of considering the course outcome using apply Bloom's taxonomy. When I come to assessment part, it can be obtain the Fourier transform of the signal, then obtain the Fourier of the periodic signal. So you have to connect all these things. Now, in general, if suppose student wants to obtain the Fourier transform of the signal, he must be able to apply the knowledge of that signal, Fourier transform. So all these are interlinked. He can obtain only when he is in a position to apply the concept logic for that particular activity. So likewise, you have to link all your CO with Bloom's taxonomy, then verbs while defining the CO, and then assessment part also. Coming to next, solve, analyze. So this can be another kind of thing that at the end of the course the student will be able to apply Fourier transform of the, it is always on the lower side. And again the level of mapping 1 to 3, again it contributes towards the lower and higher attainment of program outcomes. Then it is necessary to determine the level at which a particular PO is addressed by the course. That's why I have already said that while doing the mapping of COPO, faculty has to decide at what level this course outcome is addressed by that is addressed to that particular PO. And then last, I have already said that strength of mapping is defined at 3 levels. Low means 1, medium 2, and high level 3. Now from this slide onwards, I have taken example of one of my subject, which I think by taking this as a real example, you are in a better position to understand. Now I have defined the course outcome for my subject ADSD, that is Analog Digital System Design, which is in the 7th semester. So I have defined these 5 COs for my subjects. Right, now here 40340 is nothing but 4 indicates 4th year, and then point 1234 that indicates the CO number. So for example, CO 403.1 is nothing but the course outcome for 4th year 3rd subjects CO1. So CO1 statement like apply knowledge of digital system design, identify the formulate and solve the complex digital system design, VLSI design problem. So in a way, same way every faculty has to define 4 to 6 number of course outcomes for their subjects. Now suppose we have defined the course outcome for this particular subject. The next part is doing the mapping of these course outcomes with the program outcomes. So based on the all 12 set of POs, I found by doing the mapping of my course 5 course outcomes with those 12 set of program outcomes, I found that out of 12 program outcomes, 6 POs are perfectly matched or mapped with my set of COs. Now only the level I have to decide. So first step, defining the course outcome. Second step, identification of set of program outcome which are closely or related to your set of course outcome amongst the all set of program outcomes. So I have defined the 5 CO for my subject ADSD, And then I identified the 6 POs amongst those 12 set of POs. These are the list. And first PO1, PO2, PO3, PO4, PO5 and PO11 is related to my course. So now I can say that for my subject ADSD, of which there are 5 course outcomes. So for my subject, the set of program outcome which is mapped to my subject are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 11. So I can say that for my subject, 5 COs are there and 6 POs are mapped to my subject. So these are the set of PO which is mapped to my one single subject ADSD. Now once I have done this thing, the next step is to do the mapping of this my course outcome with program outcomes with mapping level. So this is a table which every faculty has to prepare. So I suggest to all the head of the department or head of the institution that make compulsory for every faculty member while submitting the teaching plan of their subject assigned to them for one particular subject. At the beginning itself, they must submit the teaching plan. Along with that, they must submit their course defined course outcomes. They submit the PO program outcomes mapped to their subject, and then this table of mapping of course outcome with program outcomes with defined levels 1 to 3, right? So I have defined on the left side this course outcome, five course outcomes are there. Here the program outcomes 12 set. PSO I have mentioned because in NBA there are 12 program outcome defined by them in very general in nature. So for program specific thing outcomes, I have defined 2 additional. So any for NAAC purpose also you can have a, like for example MBA institute if it is having and they are going for NAAC, they can have a I think NBA has defined 5 set of POs with them. Now based on the specialization they are providing like HR, finance or any other marketing. So they can have a 3 different set of program specific outcomes. One reflects the HR part, one reflects the marketing, one reflects the finance. So likewise in any institution, commerce, any institution, they can have their own set of program specific outcomes based on the area of specialization if they are having. This is again, it's optional for them. But for AICTE approved institution, it is compulsory to have a 2 to 4 program specific outcomes. So once CO defined, PO identified, then the mapping of this CO, PO has been done with a different label. Now why I have selected somewhere 3, somewhere 2, 1. Again, it can vary from faculty to faculty. Every faculty has their own perception of doing the mapping of the CO with the program. So like for CO1 and PO1, I have mentioned here 3. Any other faculty for the same subject, they may write as a 2. Only the thing, they should be able to justify why they have mapped with level 1, 2 or 3. So I have taken 3 because now you can see on the right side I have mentioned all the 5 course outcomes I have prepared. Sorry, it's a 703, it's a 403.5. So it's again, you can see the statement. 403.1 is apply knowledge of digital system design. Now when you see the statement for program outcome 1, it again talks about the apply the knowledge of the mathematical science engineering fundamental. So I can say that strongly it is connected to program outcome. I have mentioned as a 3. And then for rest, it can be 2, 1 I have taken like PO1, CO2 is 2. So in the same way you have to select the keywords of Bloom's taxonomy of your course outcome. Try to map with that with the program outcome and then domain in which you have defined the course outcome. So like here it's a first thing is the apply, second thing is digital system design fundamentals. So it's talk about the engineering fundamentals program 1. So likewise for every keyword and the technical aspects or the knowledge or domain you are mentioning in your statement, you have to correlate with that program outcomes. So at this stage, course outcome has been defined, program outcome has been identified. Then course outcome, program outcome mapping is also done with level of 3 to 1. Right. Now, once this process is done, then actual teaching learning process and evaluation parts comes into the picture. So these are the general, or I can say that example I have stated here for content delivery for theoretical part and then for practical part. Every institute, department, they may have their own set of different traditional methods they have adopted, laboratory work, facility they are having, classroom teaching, assignments, tutorials, PowerPoint presentation. Even nowadays you can add videos also, NPTEL or SWAM videos also as one of the method of content delivery. Then it is then again supported by various seminars, workshop, guest lecture, training program, industrial visits, visiting professor scheme or expert talk, expert lectures. On the right side, there are again delivery method with respect to the lab or project related work. So experiments based on the university curriculum, additional beyond syllabus experiments, laboratory manuals, continuous monitoring. So these are the indicative examples just I have stated here. You can define or decide, but it is expected that every department or institute should define well in advance, at least for that particular academic year, the different set of content delivery for theory as well as for project and laboratory work. Now coming to another important aspect of assessment of CO and PO is the assessment tools. Now it plays very important role, assessment tools, what tools you can have in your department for the attainment purpose and indirect, direct or indirect. So under assessment tools there are two tools which you have to use. One is direct assessment tools, another one is indirect assessment tools. Now the basic difference of direct and indirect tool is indirect tool is the tools which is purely based on the survey, or I can say that feedback. So purely feedback survey comes under the indirect assessment tools. Now you can have a number of combination. You have conducted one guest lecture. At the end of the guest lecture, you have conducted one feedback based on questions based on that particular area topic on which the guest lecture was, and then it's analysis. Then that analysis part you come to a single attainment value. So such kind of process based on the feedback or survey comes under the indirect assessment tools. On the other side, any individual student mark based. This is very important. Individual assessment of the student, and that assessment is mark based is your direct assessment tool. So any activity, anything, whether it is listed here or not, if it is marks based and individual assessment of the student is done, that comes under the direct assessment tools. Like in first block, this result of theory subjects MSc, EAC, RTMNU. Now here you can have your class test, sessional exams, 1, 2, 3, whatever the facility system procedure you are having, and then followed by the university exam you are having. So this is one of the major component or tool under direct assessment part. Coming then second is the practical exams, mini projects, assignments. So if any institute or program is giving the assignments to the students and some marks or weightage is given and its individual assessment is done, then you can take assignment also under direct assessment tools. Then similarly lab works, if you are having some continuous evaluation kind of thing to assess your laboratory work, in which every practical is assessed independently mark based, you can include that also in your direct assessment tools. And the last one is that project work. So project carried out by the mostly final year student, in some branches it is for the third year also. So if it is again mark based individual assessment, you can have a project work in. So again, many times through exam or the previous direct indirect tools we have seen, still we are not able to attain the program outcomes, or the level of attainment of program outcome is on the lower side. So there must be separate extra efforts required by the faculty for the improvement in the attainment of various program outcomes. Now, few efforts is like theory. If I see theory, there must be requirement of content beyond syllabus. Means faculty has to take few topics contained beyond syllabus. These are the special, particularly I can say for those institute who are affiliated to certain university, because in affiliated mode we don't have any control over the upgradation or redefining of curriculum. Autonomous institution, they can have their own modification as per required or requirement or need basis. So if we are affiliated institute, whether it is technical or non-technical or AICT or non-AICT approved institution, faculty has to set. Even these things can also be included at the time of submission of teaching plan, COPO and their mapping. In that sheet itself, individual faculty must submit what the various content beyond syllabus he or she is going to take in this upcoming session for subject allotted to her. Same way for laboratory, it is expected that experiment as per the syllabus and beyond syllabus. So as per syllabus, the faculty has to conduct anyhow, but content beyond syllabus practical also is to be performed for the students, which may contribute for the attainment of program outcomes. Then through tutorial sheets, through application-based, industry-based, well-defined project evaluation system. That PQI is nothing but your project quality assurance initiative. So any initiative related to the project of the final year undergraduate or postgraduate student, there should be some standard mechanism which is in a transparent way and continuous evaluation of those activity related to project to ensure the quality of project. Then continuous evaluation, internal exam, test, assignment, seminar, demonstration, viva. These are the few set of activity again. Then related to industry, if some POs are mapped or related to industry related activity. So you may have an industrial visit, seminar, guest lecture by the industrial person, industry based projects, or you can appoint some co-guide from the industry for a student's project. So then activities at national level, any circuit making competition, mini projects, seminars, then value addition program, campus recruitment training, that is CRT, communication skill training programs, workshops, expert lectures. So these are the few set of activity which as per requirement basis faculty has to perform for their students so that their PO defined to their subjects may be attained on the higher side. Now measuring course outcome attainment through internal examination. Now one of the major tools I have previously slide I have already said that there may be a number of exams, classes you are having in your program or department or in the institute. So there are again now two ways. One, all examination conducted at internal level, and then university exam, that we call as a external examination. So first we see attainment through internal examination. So initially in few slides I will give you the example general guidelines about this process and till attainment, and then followed by I will show you the actual sheet which we are using in our institute and program for our subjects for the attainment purpose. So exam related to the attainment level versus targets. Now this exercise again faculty has to perform at the beginning of the level itself. They have to set 3 different level of attainment, right? So for example, attainment level 1, 60% students scoring more than set attainment level in the final examination. So if students are able to cross 60% of the students are able to cross or score more than the set attainment level. So every faculty has to set the attainment level also and the percentage of the student also. So this is an example, 60% students if they are able to cross level 1, 70% of the students if they are able to cross that attainment value, set attainment value, level 2 attainment. and similarly for 80% students level 3. Now for example, I have conducted one internal exam for my student for my subject, right? For, say sessional 1. Now in that I have asked two questions which addresses C202.1 and C202.2. That means second year second subject, second year second subject, course objective 1, outcome 1, and C202.2 means for the same subject CO2. So I can say that in my that exam I have asked two questions. One question is associated with the CO1 of my subject, course outcome 1 of my subject, and second question is associated with the CO2 of my subject, and the total weightage I have given is 20. So putting these two questions together, the total marks is 20. Now I have to bifurcate this CO wise. So out of maximum 20 marks, 12 marks are associated with CO1 and 8 marks are associated with CO2. Now I have to define the three different levels of for my subjects, attainment level. So for example, I have fixed 60% students if they are scoring more than 60% marks out of the relevant maximum marks. So I will assign or declare that attainment level 1. Now here you can see there are two parameters involved for attainment level 1 to 3. One is percentage of the students and second is percentage marks. Now it's individual faculty decision whether they wish to vary these two things simultaneously or one thing parameter one time. So you can have a 60% of the students scoring more than 60% marks, 70% of the students scoring 70% marks, 80% of the students scoring 80% marks. So you can vary both the six things simultaneously or varying one thing and keeping other thing constant. Even you can start with 40% of the students scoring. You must not go below 40% because it's then too on the very lower side. So you can start level 1, 40% of the students scoring 50% marks or 40% marks. So all it depends upon the difficulty level of the subjects. If faculty feel that the subject was very difficult, it's very difficult for the students to score marks on very higher side, they can start with the 40% for level 1. And if the subject is very easy, they can start with the 60%, 65%, 70%. And in view of continuous improvement, every year it is expected that faculty must increase the level of this percentage of the student or the percentage of the marks. For example, this year you have selected 60%, next year you may have a 65% for level 1. Now coming back to our examination part, now I have defined a question paper. Two questions were asked, 12 marks each, 12 marks question 1 based on CO1, 8 marks question 2 based on CO2. I have defined three different levels also. Now 60, for example, level 1, 60% students scoring more than 60% marks. So if question 1 is of 12 marks, so 60% marks of that 12 is 7.2. So if students are able to, if 60% of the students appearing for that exam, they are able to cross 7.2 marks, then I declare that my attainment level is 1. For example, for question 2, it's of 8 marks. So 60% of 8 is for 4.8. So I can declare that students, if 60% of the students scoring more than 4.8 marks, I will declare again level 1. So likewise calculation you have to do. Now once we have done with this, now based on the performance of the student in internal exam, this one, I presume that my attainment level is 3. Means 80% of the students, they are able to cross my set attainment level value, right? Now considering the university exam, now what happened? For external exam or university exam, we don't have access to our students' answer sheets. So we are not aware about the students which question they have solved, which question is mapped with what and anything. So similar thing. So in such cases, what we'll do for external exam, we calculate the average value of students' marks scored in university exam. For example, 10 students appeared in that, 80 marks question paper was asked in the university. So out of 80, what is the marks scored by those 10 students? Then its average value, and then we have to decide 60% of the students scoring that average value. We'll see practically when I show you the Excel sheets also. So assuming that through internal exam the attainment level is 3 and through university exam the attainment level was 2. So now again here the some percentage comes into the picture. Now since NBA has given the weightage of all the internal examination, the attainment value 20% maximum you can take for those internal examination, and 80% weightage is to be given for all external examinations attainment value. Now again this is an indicative bifurcation 80-20. You can have your own set of this bifurcation. You may have a 70-30 if or 60-40 also. But again you should be able to justify why you have taken the 60-40. So ideally it is 80-20 or 70-30 is good enough to make ensure the quality, because you have to make ensure the quality also of your TL teaching learning system. So 80% weightage is given to university value, external examination. If I am talking about the engineering course, approximately 40 courses they are having in their syllabus. So it is possible that out of those 40 subjects, 12 subjects are mapped with the PO1, for example. So while calculating the PO1 attainment value, final attainment value, I have to take the average of all those 12 subjects to which PO1 is mapped. Now, indirect attainment level of PO is determined based on the student exit survey, employer survey, co-curricular activities and extracurricular activities. So this is again, as I have already said, that course survey based attainment tools is your indirect assessment tool. So these are the exit survey, employer survey, co-curricular activities, extracurricular activity you may have for indirect attainment level of program outcome. Now I will show you the example again. Previous slide we have calculated the course outcome. Now we assume that particular PO1 out of that 12 PO, for example PO1 has been mapped to 4 courses, C201, 302, 303, 401. That means what? Second year first subject, third year second subject, third year third subject, and final year first subject. This 4 subject is mapped with PO1, right? The PO attainment level will be based on the attainment level of direct assessment and indirect assessment. So final PO attainment will be putting both tools together, direct assessment tools plus indirect assessment tools. Now for affiliated, non-affiliated college or non-autonomous colleges, it is assumed that while deciding an overall attainment level, 80% weightage may be given to direct assessment and 20% weightage is given to indirect assessment. Now, in entire process of this attainment, there are 2 bifurcation. First one is internal weightage for external exam and internal exam. In the same way, another bifurcation, percentage bifurcation is of direct tool and indirect tool. So in both the way, both the things you can have a flexibility. You can have a 70-30 for internal, external, internal exam respectively, and 70-30% for direct and indirect tools, or 80% or 20% direct indirect tools. So assuming that I am giving 80% weightage for direct assessment and 20% weightage for indirect assessment. And then program may have different weightages that I have already told. Now, assuming the following actual attainment levels of all those 4 subjects through direct assessment. So I assume that through internal examination plus university examination, putting both together, there is their 80%, 20% weightage. These are the final course outcome of my subject. For second year, first subject attainment was 3. For second year, second subject, third year, third subject, and final year, first subject attainment level was 2, 1, 3 respectively. So these are the final course attainment of my subject through direct assessment. Right. So assuming level attainment level will be the summation of levels divided by number of courses. So 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3. So average of all these 4 subjects together is 9 by 4, which is nothing but 2.25. So sorry, earlier was your PO attainments of all these 4 subjects. So 2.25. So through indirect assessment, which includes your survey, analysis, customized to be an average value as per level 1, 2, 3, I assume that through indirect, through survey assessment, my attainment level was 2. So we have discussed right now that 80% weightage I will give for direct assessment and 20% weightage I will give for indirect tools. So 80% of 2.25 is 1.8 and 20% of 2 is 0.4, which is nothing but 2.2. So at this stage I can declare that my attainment is 2.2 medium level of attainment. Now up till now we have not taken into account the level of mapping, which earlier we have prepared in the COPO mapping table. Every course outcome is mapped with certain set of PO with label 1, 2, 3. So up till now we have not considered the level of mapping. Now NAAC has not mentioned anything about the level of mapping. So for the institution which doesn't comes under the AICTE purview, they can calculate the program outcomes in this same way up till now what we have seen without considering the level of mapping. But if any institution, non-AICTE institution also, if they want the OBE to be implemented in true sense, so it's my personal opinion that in view of the development, growth and continuous improvement, they must include the level of the mapping. We will see what the difference will be when we consider the level of mapping between CO and PO. So up till now, without considering the level, the mapping attainment is 2.2. Now, we'll consider the attainment with relevance. So, we have mapped the COPO by level 1, 2, 3. So I declare that if any CO is mapped with one particular PO with level 3, I will give 100% weightage of that attainment value. Similarly, if it is mapped with certain PO with level 2, I will give 66.66% weightage for attainment value. And similarly for one low mapping, will give 33.33%. Now on the right side, we have earlier mentioned these are the attainment value of PO attainment value of these 4 subjects, right? So, and in this left side, I have declared that my subject 201 is mapped with PO1 with level 1, that is 33.33%. Second subject and third subject is mapped with level 3, that is 100%. Similarly, last subject 401 with level 2, 66.66%. So, through direct assessment, this first subject 201, whose attainment was 3, and since it is mapped with level 1, so 33.33% of 3 is 1. Similarly, for second subject whose attainment level is 2, but it is mapped with level 3, so 100% weightage. Similarly for next subject also, so 100% 2 and 1, right? Then last subject attainment value was 3, but it is mapped with the level 2, so 66.66%. So 66.66 of 3 is again 2. So average of all these 4 is 6 by 4 equals to 1.5. And indirect assessment in the previous slide we have considered it as a 2. So final PO attainment for my subject is 80% of direct method plus 20% of indirect method. So 1.2 plus 0.4 equals to 1.6. That is nothing but the low level of attainment. So you here see the difference. When I have not considered the level of mapping 1, 2, 3 of COPO while calculating the PO attainment through direct assessment, my attainment level was 2.2, which is medium. And when I have considered the level of mapping of COPO 1, 2, 3, my attainment, overall PO attainment falls or goes up to 1.6. That is on low level category. So that's why if you really want to improve your system, one must implement or one must consider this attainment value also. So this is the basic difference. If we not consider the level, the attainment is always on the higher side. PO attainment is always on the higher side. And if it is, we consider, so it will further go down. Now, here I will show you the actual my Excel sheets which I have actually calculated the attainment values of my students for my subject ADSD, which we have talked about earlier. So this is the final window of which every faculty has to prepare. They have to define the rubrics for course outcome attainment again at the beginning of the session or semester. So they have to define, well define, what are the various assessment tools they are going to follow or they are going to implement. So like I have declared assessment tool, internal exam assessment 1, internal exam assessment 2, and university exam. So here again you can have your set of assessment examination part, class test, assignments, anything you want, but what you are including that you have to declare at the beginning of the semester. Apart from once you have fixed your tools, you have to also define the different levels of attainment for internal exam as well as for external exams. So for internal exam, it is expected that you must have a little bit on the higher side level, percentage, 60% students. So I have declared that 60% of the students, if they are scoring more than 60% marks, I will give level 1 for my internal exam. Level 1 means low level. Second, 70% of the students scoring more than 60% marks, then level 2 medium attainment. And then 80% of the students scoring more than 60% marks, I will declare level 3 high level of attainment. So these are the rubrics of different 3 levels I have defined for my internal assessment part. Now coming to university examination, you can have a same value for each level, 60%, 70%, 80% for university examination. But practically if we see students are majority of the students I can say not able to perform much better in university examinations. So it's very then difficult for you to have your CO attained. So for that you can start with the 40%, 30% students scoring more than average university marks, level low. 40% students scoring more than average university marks, level 2 medium, and then 50% marks, level 3. So mapping attainment level, mapped and attainment level. So consider as I have earlier I have shown the mapping course outcome defined for my subject ADSD. Program outcomes 6 in number which I have identified for my course. Then I have done the mapping of my course outcome with the program outcomes with level 1, 2, 3. Now final attainment part, actual one I will show you. So considering first sessional exam, MSE is the nomenclature for our sessional one, that is mid-sem exam, in which 2 questions were asked based on the CO1 and CO2, right? The percentage of the students successfully attaining the CO. So these 2 questions, students' performance is 66% of the students are able to attain for CO1 and 86% of the students are able to attain the question of course outcome 2 for my subject, and accordingly I have declared level 1 and level 3. Now I will show you the. Sir, are you able to see my this Excel sheet? Anyone can please?
Yes, sir. It is
Yes.
visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. So this is the actual sheet which we have implemented in our college. Every faculty is doing this exercise immediately after. Means we have made it mandatory for our faculty member that once his or her own paper is over, within 3 days they have to do the evaluation work, and within next week they have to submit the this Excel sheet in which they have done the course outcome process. Now you will see. Here the 6 questions were asked. As per our pattern, question student has to solve any question from 1 to or 2, 3 or 4, 5 or 6. Right? These are the weightages of the questions given. 40 marks for question 1, 40 marks for question 2 means student has to solve any question 1 or 2. Then question 3, 13 marks, question 4, 13 marks, and then question 5 and 6, 13 marks each. Now here faculty has to make ensures if they are that if they are having the ORing pattern between two set of questions, like in our case question 1 or question 2. So I have to make ensure that question 1 and question 2 same set of CO should be there. It's not like that question 1 is based on CO1, question 2 is based on the CO2. Otherwise, always your one CO will be on the lower side, depending upon the majority of the students which question they have attempted. So please make sure that if you are giving the option to the students, then your CO question wise CO should be same. So student has to solve 1 or 2, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Now consider roll number 1 case. First we will see the course outcome. So total of marks is 13. So 13 marks question is based on the CO1, associated with the CO1. He has attempted question 6 out of 5 or 6 and scored the 6 marks. Correct? So total of marks is 13. Total of marks obtained is 6. Now in the beginning in teaching plan I have declared this rubrics. Number of students scoring 60% marks. So I have declared this. If less than 60% students, I will declare not attained. So based on our rubrics, you have to calculate the attainment value. Now here roll number 1 attempted question 6 and scored 6 marks out of 13. So here we have placed 0 marks. 0 indicates that student has not attained that course outcome 1 because the marks scored by him is below 60%. Now if you see, I will if possible, I will make change. Suppose 8 marks if he has scored. You can see here it's converted into 1. So as it crosses the 60%, more than 60% marks, automatically it 1, which indicates that that student has attained the course outcome. So in the same way, question 2, if I for CO2, if I have you can see now question 1 or question 2, question 3 or question 4 is based on your course outcome 2. So putting all questions together related to CO2, the total of marks is 27. 14 marks from this set of question and 13 marks from this question set of question. So student has to solve any one of 14 marks and any one from these 13 marks. So 14 plus 13 is 27 marks and the marks scored by the student is 7 plus 7 plus 5 plus 6 is 25. 25 by 27 is greater than 60%, that's why it is 1. So likewise, you have to calculate the number of 1 or the number of the student, those who are able to varying marks. Right. So based on this 101 criteria of 60% and greater, I can declare or say that, see, total students appearing on roll was 69, but out of 69, 50 students they appeared in that exam. So by removing the absent student. I consider only the number of students, those who have appeared in the exam. So 50 students appeared for that exam, out of which 30 students are able to cross or score the marks greater than 60%. So 33 by 50 will give you the 66% weightage. Similarly, for CO2, out of 50 students, 43 students were able to cross my targeted value of 60%, more than 60%. So I can declare 43 by 50 is nothing but the 86%. So based on this rubrics, if students 80% students scoring more than 60% marks, attainment level is 3, that I have declared in the beginning of the semester itself. So for this exam, I say that for CO2, my attainment level is 3 as student has scored 80%, more than 80% students have scored more than 60% marks. Similarly for CO1, since 66% students are able to score more than 60% marks, so it belongs to this group or this level of 1. So level 1. So the same data I have presented here. 66% for level 1, 86% for level 3. Now this is an example of one of the exam I have conducted. So in my college, I conduct mid-sem exam, that is you can say sessional 1, end-sem exam, that is sessional 2, and then PUT exam, end-sem or PUT, and then university exam. So putting all exams together, this is the first exam of which example we have seen. First mid-sem exam for which 2 questions were asked based on the CO1 and CO2, and these are the based on the performance of the student. This is the level of attainment 1 and 3 respectively. Similar type of calculation I have done for end-sem exam, in which my all POs were mapped in that exam, and these are based on the performance. This is the attainment level 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. That means only CO2 students are able to attain, rest other 4 COs they are not able to attain. This is the percentage of the students scoring more than average marks. So I have given the example like the marks scored by the students in the university exam, then I have taken the average value and then fixed the target. In previous slide you have seen 30% of the students, if they are able to cross the average value, I have given level 1, 40% level 2, 50% level 3. So that average value, so in this 46.77% of the students, they are able to cross the that average marks. So that comes to level 2. Now since we don't have access to answer sheet, this average value will be applicable, or you have to consider for all CO as far as university exam is concerned. So it is the common for all, this attainment value 2. Now last column, overall course outcome attainment. We have declared that we'll give the weightage of 20% to attainment value through internal examination and 80% value to external examination. Now since this internal exam 1, internal exam 2, attainment is 1 plus 0, first we have to take the average of all the internal examination. So 1 plus 0, that is 1 by 2, multiply by 0.2, that is 20%, plus 80% of this attainment value to external exam. So 80% of 2 will give you the 1.7. Clear? Same way we have to calculate the attainment value of CO2. So again it's 3 plus 1 divided by 2 into 0.2 plus 80% of this 2 will give you 2. So in the same way you have to calculate the attainment value of all courses. So I can say that course-wise attainment also as a faculty, that my course 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the attainment value is 1.72, 1.6, 1.6, 1.6 respectively. And if I have to declare the overall course attainment of my subject, so I will take the average of all these 5 course outcome wise attainment value, which will be 1.7. So at this stage as a faculty, I will declare that course outcome attainment for my subject ADSD for this semester is 1.7. So in the same way every faculty has to do the course outcome attainment level of their own subjects. So now PO attainment with the relevance. Now our direct attainment with the relevance. So up till now we have seen the CO attainment in the previous slide. Right. Now I have to calculate the PO attainment for my subject. So in the beginning I have declared that out of these 12 PO, 6 POs are mapped with my subject 2, 2, 1, 3, 3, 3. So direct attainment, this average correlation, if you remember, this was the slide initially I have shown the mapping of my course outcome with program outcomes, and the average value is 2 for PO1, right? So this average value 2, I have put up here this 2. This direct attainment with relevance is nothing but average correlation. So average correlation, which I have declared earlier, is 2 into average attainment value. So in the previous slide, we have seen that average attainment value is 1.7. So average correlation 2 into average attainment value 1.7 divided by 3. 3 because we are doing the calculation in the 3-point scale. Maximum attainment is 3 only. So 2 into 1.7 divided by 3, it will give you the 1.13. So the final attainment level of my subject through direct attainment, considering the level of mapping, that is relevance, is 1.13 for PO1. In the same way, you have to calculate for all set of program outcomes and program specific outcome mapped with your course. So last slide from my side is finally how to calculate the overall attainment at program level. So again, considering 80% direct attainment weightage I am giving, 20% indirect attainment weightage I am giving. So I will show you the sample sheet which I have prepared. Sir, are you able to see Excel sheet?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this table we have prepared where a course outcome of my subject, program outcomes mapped to my subject is the mapping of level, and then average course outcome, right? Next is the final attainment value, which we have already seen in our presentation. So these are the average CO attainment of my subject, then correlation matrix. So this is I am talking about that this should be done at the departmental level or at the institute level if they are running a single program. So courses PO should be mentioned here, and then all the subjects which are mapped with the PO. So their average value, like for in our case, this is the average value of all the 6 POs mapped to my subject. So putting all subjects together right from first year to final year, you have to mention here the average value of PO mapped. Right. Then these are the CO attainment sheets. This is the for all subjects you have to prepare those who are mapped to one particular PO. Then next is your PO attainment. So like we have calculated the PO attainment of our ADSD subject. We have seen that for PO1 it's 1.1, PO2 1.1, CO attainment average is about 1.7. So likewise you have to mention here all the subjects again, and then their final attainment value, CO attainment as well as their PO attainment value, and then you have to take the average of all these POs. For example, I wish to calculate the final attainment of program outcome 1 at departmental level. I have to take the average of all these subjects mapped to PO1. So final attainment value is 1.8. So I can say that through direct assessment at program level, the attainment value of my program outcome 1 is 1.8. So once this is done, then final table you have to prepare, which includes your indirect attainment value also. So direct attainment level was just we have seen PO1 1.8. Direct attainment in terms of percentage 1.8 divided by 3 will give you the percentage value. Similarly, in direct tools, For PO1, I have calculated alumni survey, exit feedback survey. So these are the two indirect tools I have used to calculate the PO1. Percentage wise it is 79.31, 55.71. So taking average of all the indirect tools you have taken will give you the 67.51. So now we have a value of program outcome at departmental level, putting all subjects together, and then indirect tools for PO1. So again, I have declared that 80% weightage is given to direct and 20% weightage is given to indirect tools. So if you see, this is the formula which we have used. So 80% of C3 direct pay 59.91 and 20% of this average value of indirect tools will give you the final percentage of attainment of PO1 61.43. So in the same way you have to do for all the program outcomes and program specific outcome. So I think from my side, yes. So this is all from my side. Now we can have a still I think 15-20 minutes left. So we can have a question answer session. We can have a question answer session. Any doubt and
I request the participants, if you have any doubts, you can post the queries in chat box or WhatsApp group. Otherwise, if anyone interested can directly ask questions here also.
yes. Actually, I can understand because this topic understanding in online mode is little bit difficult because in 2 hours, 1.5 hours, I have to submit all the things.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
This is Ravi Kumar here.
Yeah, Ravi
Can
Kumar.
you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Sir, my simple question is that while calculating the CO direct attainment calculations in the final examinations, you have taken 30% as level 1 and 40% as level 2. 40% of the students scoring average mark of the
Yeah,
university examination, and
yes,
50% of the students scoring average mark of the students level 3.
yeah.
Don't you think these levels are a bit low levels, like 30,
It's,
40, 50%?
it's very low, sir. That's why at the
Yes.
beginning I have said that depending upon the overall university result of that particular subject,
Yes,
yeah, you can
but
take.
we don't. In our university system, we cannot get the average university examination marks. But can we take our students' university?
True value or whatever they given, we cannot ensure that they have given the actual feedback. It's possible on both sides, on positive note also as well as on the negative note also. So that's why for feedback kind of thing, that is indirect tools, 20% purpose of giving the 20% weightage is that's only.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Any next question?
Sir, there is one question from one of the participants, sir.
Yeah, madam.
Dr. Paramashivaya from. So the question is, suppose
Yes.
a program outcome is mapped by only 10 courses, then
Yeah,
attainment is contributed only by 10 courses. If attainment levels
yeah,
are 3, then the PO is
yeah.
weekly mapped is attained fullest. Is it a
Yeah.
correct rubric, sir?
Yes, 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 possible. It's a very much possible that any PO mapped at level low can have an attainment level of 3 or vice versa also. Attainment mapping level is 3 but attains on the lower side. So all it's depend upon, it's actually various aspects contributes for the attainment of PO. It's a subject wise also, it's a students performance wise also. So it is absolutely possible that mapping level is 1, attainment level is 3 or reverse.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, Dr. Paramashivaya, sir, I hope the query is clarified.
Yeah. And someone is asking, I think, some question.
Sir, once again, Sudhakar.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
while doing the calculation, COPO mapping and attainment, we are doing for program wise.
Okay.
Uh, so, how do you consider for the first year calculations? Whether it should be done for branch wise or the students
Sir,
will
I think you are from Engineering Institute, if I'm not wrong, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah. So in that case, first year department has to do the calculations of as far as COPO for all the subjects of first year for all the students. Because normally in affiliated institute, first year syllabus is common for all the branches, right?
Okay.
So, so they have to do the calculations of all the students at first year level. However, while doing the PO calculations at program level or at departmental level, the respective department has to taken the COPO attainment value of first year students belongs to their branch. For example, if you are belongs to electronics department, so while calculating the program PO attainment level at departmental level, you have to take the all the 60 students of first year of electronics engineering branch.
Okay.
Yeah. So at departmental level, you have to consider only your students of the first year, and first year level they have to do for all the students. And it is expected that students must possess all these set of skills right from first year to final year, putting all subjects together. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
See, as far as the first year PO is concerned,
Yes, sir.
because individual the branch teacher going to map their COs to their respective POs,
Yes, sir.
since basic engineering is common to all the programs,
Yes, sir.
so obviously I feel we should take all the students irrespective of the program
All the students for what purpose, sir?
for PO.
No, sir. See, it is common for all the students at first year level, right?
Correct.
Now, out of those, for example, any student having 240, that is four programs they are doing. So every program has to make ensures that students of their respective department must acquire those set of skills right from first year to final year.
Correct.
So when I am looking from my department perspective, I will select out of 40 my own 60 students, those who have studied the first year. So that's why individual branch wise students have to consider for expected.
Yeah, so normally they will do, but in our practice, what I have seen in our experience,
Yes, sir.
that they're going to consider all the students because, for example, electrical PO attainment will be mapped to the electrical faculty. Mechanical faculty going to map CO PO mapping by mechanical.
Yes, sir.
So segregation again, it will be difficult over there.
Sir,
One
see,
thing.
irrespective who the faculty from which department they have defined the CO or program doesn't matter, as all the 240 students have gone the same course, same syllabus, same scheme, sir.
Correct.
Correct. And if I add other branches students' performance in calculation of my PO attainment of my branch, it will not give you the correct picture, sir.
Okay.
So as a department point, I have to see the performance of only my students of my department only.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's why practically it should be from your department only, not putting all students together.
So we have to segregate then.
Segregate, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We have to segregate and we have to get the POs.
POs.
But PSOs will not apply for the first year.
Yes, yes. PSO is not a platform. It's an optional, sir. If they think that for example, in physics or chemistry, they have some specialization, software, tools, or machinery in which they are providing something content beyond syllabus.
Correct.
So they can frame the PO/PSO statement, but it's optional for first year student, first year department.
Correct. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you, sir. So the question
Yeah.
can post it in WhatsApp group and or in Telegram.
So if no more questions, Sneha, I think we have to thank the.
Yes, sir. Sure. Now we would.
Sneha, if no more questions, then we have to thank the expertise
Yes, sir.
on behalf of the college and our.
Yes, sir.
No more questions.
So no more questions, sir. The participants are requested to post the
I
queries,
think no
which
questions
will be
from
answered
participants
later,
side.
sir, through the registered IDs, if they have any further
Okay.
queries.
Okay. Dr. Vivek Kapoor, thank you very much for having accepted our invitation to your expertise to all the participants. Of course, it is very informative and very practical examples you have taken for explaining any kind of activities. So, on behalf of the management, myself, principal, and staff members, I wholeheartedly thank you very much, sir.
So
Thank you.
thank you very much. It's my honor, privilege to associate with ATME. I visited last 2 years back. I visited your institute also.
Very good.
Yeah, so I have seen the tremendous efforts the management and the head of the institution, other faculty, they are taking to build up your institution at a greater height. So my best wishes to ATME also. And anytime any kind of things required, please let me know, sir. I am always there for you all.
So it's our honor to have you, sir. Very good, very good. So not
Thank
only the
you.
management, all faculty members, including deans, principals, putting their efforts for the development of the institutions, and this progress we can see
Yeah.
just in a span of 10 years. We are doing that with all your wishes. So anyhow, so on behalf of the management, myself, principal, and all the staff and students, thank you very much once again, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank,
much. Thank you.
thank you, Vivek sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Myself, sir, as principal, anyhow, our dean has already given a lot of thanks. Huh?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Right, sir. Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all. I request the participants to join the afternoon session at 2:50. You can use the same link to join the session. So the session exactly starts at 2:50. So morning session will be winding up now. Thank you all.